Hi, my name's Paul. This is my own personal progress report. It's progress report number one. My own personal progress report, just to document how I'm doing in life for myself, for my family. Hoping this can be something I look back on and hopefully fondly after achieving my goals. I'm living in LA. It's 2021, March 18th, 2021. And I'm just trying to figure out how to make a dime. I don't have a job, but I have all the time in the world. Trying to use my skills in video production to make something of myself. I'm exploring different ways to do this. One of the ways is I've started my own company, or I'm attempting to, in helping actors with their directing reels. I came to this because I studied film directing at UCLA Extension. I'm currently on what's called OPT, which is coming to a close in May. It's currently March 18th, like I said, so only got a couple months left for that. But basically OPT is where I get to live and work here for 1 year. And it's been a crazy 1 year. I've been through a lot this year and hit rock bottom in many ways, but I'm really trying to make some of myself. I don't have anything to lose, so I'm making this video, and I've decided I'm going to document what I'm up to, and hopefully this will give me a way to kind of almost be like a diary for myself, so that I can look back on what I'm doing and also analyze which moves I need to make. I've made my own website, which I'm pretty proud of. This website will hopefully attract some actors or people who are looking to be actors. There's a lot of that in this city, but there's also been a lot, basically productions being hit pretty hard, so not a lot of productions going on as far as I know. I think I have a unique selling point in that, it's COVID times, and I can shoot, I can edit, I can direct all by myself. So I can also be my own sound person. And so with using my skills, and during this time of the pandemic, it's limited liability to other people, I suppose, because you're not going to be exposed to a whole crew of people. So with my company, I hope to use my unique selling point of being all-in-one director, producer, writer, shooter, editor. And let's see where it goes with this. Obviously, I need to make some money right now. I'm living off savings, and they're just dwindling. So I've got my back against the wall at the moment. So I'm looking forward to this adventure. Like I said, I've just been through a lot this whole year, since March 2020 to now we're in March 2021. It's just been a whole crazy adventure. I went from having my own apartment in Westwood, which was paid for by my parents. I'm really grateful for that. To being very socially isolated after classes finished and I graduated. So I was in a really dark place, and then from that dark place I had a bit of a falling out with my parents, who said, okay, we're not going to help you out anymore, which is very understandable. I shouldn't have been helped so much, to be honest, in the first place. Getting a 1-bedroom apartment in Westwood is a pretty expensive endeavor. If you know that area, if you know about rental prices in LA, you know that living in Westwood is pretty expensive. Living in LA in general is pretty expensive, but Westwood is one of the more upmarket places. So I'm really grateful that my parents were helping me there, but they decided not to help me anymore, and it was looking like I would have to go home for my OPT. And I didn't want to waste that OPT year, so I ended up staying here. Started living off savings. I was getting an allowance as well, so I just took that allowance, which that allowance stopped. So I took that. I asked for all of that allowance up front, which I could live off, and I have been living off that, but also making money here and there. Been doing some film projects, been doing some work, cash in hand, and so I went from living in my own apartment in Westwood to sharing a room in a hostel in Koreatown. Did that for a few months, which was an adventure all in itself. Tested me in so many ways, but ended up figuring out a way to find a room in Hollywood, which was the same price as a shared room in a hostel. So thank God for that. That's just amazing. That I'm really proud of myself that I made that happen. And so now I'm currently in that room. I've been living here since October 2020. It's now March 2021, so that is about 6 months now. And so that's been an adventure in itself. Adjusting to a new place, I'm so much more happier in this apartment, and having my own space. I remember the first day I got here, I was just over the moon. I was so happy. I just lied on my bed looking at the ceiling like, wow, I can breathe. And because it was kind of getting to me a bit, like, not that I had a bad roommate or anything in the hostel, but I was just annoying to have to share a bedroom. Lack of privacy. And so now I feel a bit more free, but I'm at a point in my life where I really need to make some moves happen. I'm someone who's basically lived off my parents my whole life, listened to a lot of Jordan Peterson, and I need to start making things happen for myself. I would go back to England, but nothing's open in England. The chance of me getting a job there are slimmer than me getting work here. So I've been holding out and been doing bits here and there to keep myself going. So back onto the website. So I made this website, which I'm proud of. I think it looks really professional, and I'm hoping that will attract some clients. I also got this fashion blog going on that I'm doing, which really I've done that in the past in London, and I've just kind of started up again. I dabbled in it again. I did a bit of it here and there in LA, but I've really just started to make moves to do more with it now. I think there's no downside to being productive, and through that fashion blog I've met so many cool people already. I've pushed myself to make some videos and push my editing techniques, learn things that I've been putting on hold that I need to learn, because if I don't learn them, then I'm not very marketable. There's less things I can do as a video maker. And I think taking this route of making videos, making films for actors in their reel merges my talents in directing, narrative films. Also, I want to make some money from that. I've noticed in the past when I've made films and put them on my Instagram or something, I get a lot of interest from actors who want to work with me. They like the stuff I produce. I want to actually use my talents, and I think I get a lot of joy whenever I'm using. I love photography. I love filmmaking, so whenever I can get paid for it, just like a light turns on inside me. It's like, wow, I'm getting paid for something that I actually have a talent for. You know, I don't love it all the time. Whenever money's involved, it takes the joy out of a lot of things. But yeah, it's something weird about when you're getting paid for something, it becomes a job, and then it stops being a hobby. But you know, I've been listening to some Cal Newport recently. They say you shouldn't follow your passion, which I've been doing. Cal Newport says you shouldn't follow your passion. You should let your passion follow you. So what he says is you should work hard at building a skill that's valuable, and then with that value, you can actually actually have some leverage in your life, and it's the freedom that you want, and the ability to make choices with your life is actually what you want. And I've found that's really what I want. I want to be able to wake up whenever I want, go to sleep whenever I want, do whatever I want with my day. You know, we all dream of that, and the only way that's going to happen is by me having some valuable skills that I can actually outsource and that I can use. You know, I think filmmaking is a very valuable skill. Anyone can do it these days, but it's just more reason for me to get better, because I want to be someone who actually gets paid for it. So yeah, so that's one of the things I'm doing. I've also been looking recently, thanks to Gottfried, which is a YouTuber I found recently who gives advice on websites and on online, making money online. So I found him through making my website. I was looking at tutorials and everything, and he gave me a great tutorial on Wix, loads of tutorials on Wix and stuff. So I found him through that, and after I just, you know, going through the YouTube wormhole, I found some different ways, and yeah, just by going through related videos, I found print on demand, which is a possible avenue to make some passive income. I've started a little bit of that, done some research. I know what I'm doing a little bit, but I haven't actually designed anything yet. I'm going to be working on some designs and putting those up, and let's see if I can make anything from that. It's a lot more work than I originally anticipated if I want to make something good, and there's a lot of research involved, so there's a lot of upfront time you have to put into it. But let's see if that makes any money for me. I'm willing to do anything right now. Ideally, I would love to stay in LA as of now. Like, who wouldn't want to stay in LA with this weather? But I've also been in two minds about it, because on the one hand, you know, I'd be in LA, but I'd be stuck in filmmaking, and I wouldn't be able to legally make any money doing anything else on the side. Whereas if I move back to England, I could, you know, get a job in a supermarket or something to keep me going, pay my bills, and then have my side hustle of filmmaking or photography. Oops, drop my phone. So I'm using my phone here, imaging Edge on Sony, filming on my Sony A7S II. And this is really good because I can just hit record from here and I can see the framing. I can just hit record here and see the framing. I want to get a Sony A7S III so I can have like better focusing and all that. But yeah, that's where I am. My skin's getting better. I'm working on my diet as well. So just through working on my diet, I've noticed better. So funny story actually, just doing this fashion blog, I've been able to meet so many cool people. One of the guys I stopped was and gave me his time was a fashion model, and you know, we got along, and I had made a video interviewing him, and I just realized this guy's skin is really great. I want to have like great skin like that. So I asked him, how do I get skin like yours? And he gave me some like great advice. Sent me this long message about what to do. Like use Cetaphil is what I'm using at the moment. He said just use that. Don't put anything else on your skin, and eat very clean. And so he said cut out refined sugars, especially. So I've been cutting out all sugars altogether, which has been great for my energy levels as well. And I've noticed a difference in my skin too. So hopefully I'm progressing with that. I've had some slips with like eating some simple carbs in the last week, which I think has been giving me spots again. But I think mostly a lot of my spots come from just anxiety, just existential angst. I moved to LA at 28, right at a point when I was getting some independence for myself, and I had a job with a good mentor in real estate, but then this opportunity to come to LA came up, and so coming to LA was like, all right, what do I do? I'll always be wondering what I'll be missing out on if I come to LA, or I could have more independence, and then I just chose to forfeit the independence for coming to LA. And as soon as I came to LA, my anxiety went up, and I think that came from a lot from just me knowing that I'm going backwards in life in a way, because the only way I could come to LA was to be a student, and that would be going backwards in life, and I couldn't work, and not enough to support me anyway. So I went back to living off my parents and having my rent paid for, getting an allowance. It was just like I just really felt like I was going backwards in life. But now just having this year of me having to survive, and on my own 2 feet, having to move to a hostel to limit my budget, having to really take care of what I'm spending, having to actually have a need to go out there and make some money, because when everything's given to you, you don't really have that need. And so it's been a very, very interesting adventure. There's been a lot of growth, I think, in terms of me discovering actually how hard life is, which is what I needed. And now I'm just at a point where I really need to make some moves. This is one of the things I've been putting off, which is just filming myself and reporting on what I'm doing just for myself. This isn't, I'm not trying to get views or anything with this. All I want to do is have like a diary for myself, so that I can look back on this in a year's time, 3 years time, 5 years time, 10 years time, however long I carry on doing this. I can look back on this and be like, oh wow, I've changed so much, which is what I'm trying to do. And I think this is a good idea for doing that. One of the trade-offs with me getting help from my parents was actually I had to write them a report every month, and it was about 2-3 hours work at least at the end of every month, but it forced me to reflect. And since I stopped getting help from them, I stopped doing the reports. But in a way, I miss it because it's actually quite beneficial to look back on what you're doing and report on it, and then also think about your next moves. And I'm hoping this will be like a good substitute for that. I could keep writing the reports, but it's actually a lot of work, and I don't want to give myself that another task to do when I've been up and down in terms of how busy I've been recently. Out of the blue, 2 or 3 video editing or video production jobs come out of the blue, and then I'm like really busy, and like then don't get a chance to write the report, or it's the last thing I want to do. So this would be a good way for me to continue practicing my video production skills and uploading to social media and knowing more about that side, while also being a record for myself. So I think this is a good move. So let's see how long I keep it up. Yeah.